Defense and Safety here with another knife review. It's another new knife that I just picked up, another EDC knife. Actually, what I consider, the everyday kind of do-it-all knife. If you're only going to own one knife, I would think that this is it. My first review was the Spyderco Cali 3.5, and that definitely is a close tie with this one. This is the Benchmade 710 McHenry Williams. This is just a gorgeous knife, with the G10 handles. It's nice and slim with the full liner locks. They're drilled out. You can see, it's probably hard in the camera here to tell, but they are drilled out, so it's fairly light. It's got the axis lock. This is actually the first blade that was ever created with the axis lock, and if you own a lot of blades with axis locks, and I have one here, they're a little longer now. The actual space here is longer in the axis lock than, I don't even know if that's really the same kind, but these axis locks now, this one is the shortest. This is in D2 steel, which is a good hard steel. I really like this blade shape. It's it's a kind of a spear point. It's got a little bit of a grind here. It's not sharpened, but it does aid probably towards a stabbing motion. The nice thing about this knife is it is tip up, which is my preference. I always carry my knives tip up. I try not to even buy them if they don't carry tip up, and this one does reverse for both left and right-handed. I've already reversed it for left-handed. What's great about this knife is, it's thin. It does carry fairly low. I mean, you're going to see that much sticking up from the pocket, but it is fairly light for which is key, and you get good reach. I mean, this is a good 4-inch blade, so you get good reach with it. It really feels good in the hand. It fits the palm well, which is something I always look for. It's got a little bit of jimping here. It's everybody complains about Spyderco or Benchmade jimping. It's pretty anemic. You can see it more than you can feel it, and it does have some jimping underneath, but it does just feel really great in the hand. Easy to control. Definitely a blade that you'd feel comfortable using in a defensive situation. Very, very sharp blade. Feels, again, just great in the hand. I've always wanted one of these. To me, this is classic Benchmade. This is what really I love in a knife. It's also, the one thing I like about this is it's not very thick here either, nor here. And those are two things that I'll be reviewing later. This knife from Spyderco, but you can just see the difference in, this is the Mannix 2, but how thick this knife is. I mean, it's just very thick knife and different blade shape, etc. But again, for everyday carry, I look for something much thinner, very low profile, still easy to deploy, good reach. I want a long blade, especially if I'm carrying this more as a defensive blade than an everyday carry. The last knife review I did was the Cali 3, which to me is a little bit of both. You could use this for defensive, but it's also a great just utility tool knife. I really love this knife. So these are actually my two favorite knives right now, and this is the one I'm carrying now every day. It's replacing the Cali 3. The Cali 3, I look at that as a really nice knife. It's also maybe when you're more dressed up, things like that, you want a little bit more discreet blade. That's going to do well because of this wire. And the color of this wiring, it's kind of, they heat it up to harden it, and so it's not really silver, it's not black, it's kind of just this kind of, I don't know what color that is, but it's definitely very discreet. This knife still is nice and black. I'm sure that'll start to scratch and wear off. It seems like every knife does. But again, to me, if you're going to own one Benchmade, this is the Benchmade to own. There's a lot of great Benchmades. Spyderco and Benchmades are some of my favorite blades, but I would definitely say that this is the must-have Spyderco or Benchmade knife if you're only going to own one. It's just a gorgeous knife, absolutely perfectly designed, locks up solid. This axis lock is amazing. There's no movement. I did have to adjust it just a scooch to get that nice and tight. There was just a slight bit of play in it, and I moved the clip over to the other side. Nice tight clip. As you can see, it'll fit really good on a pair of jeans or cargo pants, so it's not going to have any problems there. So again, this is the Benchmade 710 McHenry. Is it McHenry? Sorry, McHenry's Williams with the D2 steel and the G10 handles. Love it.